Okay, I've got my photocopy. It's actually my lesson plan that I can have ready for an interview situation. Now, I know I'm not going to be able to use most of these videos, but when I come across a shot I do want to capture, I'm going to just go ahead and try. If nothing else, I'll get a little bit more practice. Yeah, they like using their horns. That's, even in light traffic, it sounds like heavy. But yeah, I wanted to capture this. Again, a couple of days ago, this was filled with Christmas decorations. Now it's New Year's. All right, I'm making my way to my coffee shop. And that's just a couple of blocks down. So, here we go. Here's another Circle K. No, it's not the same one. But we're going to go ahead and cross the street. Yeah, you just keep moving. I mean, you don't want to jump out in front of a bus or a car or anything, but for the most part, they'll stop. I wouldn't try that on a bus, though. The cars, perhaps not initially, but now there are too many of them not to treat them like motorbikes. So, but buses, yeah, I'd still hold off on jumping in front of them. No, don't do it. Or if you do, go ahead and email and tell me about it if you're able. Okay. So, I've got my copy of my lesson plan, so I'm a little bit more prepared for my next interview. Hope springs eternal. I'm beginning to think I'm too old to for this economy. They keep on asking for ages, and some of them are really blatant about it and just say they want people from 25 to 40 and that's it. And I suppose if they're bold enough to ask for it, they're getting it at this point anyway. Okay, you see, this is a sidewalk. And again, sidewalks are for everything but walking. Alright, so we'll go around. Don't jump in front of the bus. But just about everything else, you really don't have much of a choice. So let the bus go, let the bus go. It's too big to argue with. Yeah, don't worry about the horns. Everybody likes tooting their horn. It's a thing, I don't know. Every nook and cranny, every spot you can imagine. You know, definitely not for walking. Okay, here we are at Hanoi, and the names are constantly changing. I don't think you can go more than 3 or 4 blocks without the road, without the street changing its name. And there was a vendor that, if I hadn't been holding this, he probably would have been on his 4th Madame by now. No, Madame does not wish to purchase anything. Thank you very much. Okay. And we're just going to walk, and we're walking right in front of the traffic. Yeah, initially you're going to have to be a little religious because it does take an act of faith here. That's, but it becomes just a daily thing. And this is another. I do love this street. And I am not a religious person by nature. But with the holiday season being right here, and you see these people working, this is all bamboo, and you see these carpenters yeah, you make the religious jump there. It's maybe not the same religion, but this is not a trade for idiots. It takes considerable skill, and it's very impressive to watch. And you find the most unexpected things. And I'm very happy I took this out because I never catch shots like this. You always miss the best shots. And here we are. This is little idiosyncrasies you wouldn't find anywhere else. So, yeah, they still smoke in this part of the planet. And they're very ambitious about it. I don't know how much smoke you can get into your lungs with something that big, but I imagine it's a considerable amount. So the fact that half the population isn't coughing its lungs up is just amazes me. Of course, a quarter of the population, they are coughing their lungs up, but whatever. We all can't be built like an ox, I suppose. I don't know. Yeah, the other quarter's wearing masks. So, you know. Very, it's real. They're definitely keeping it real. There's no Walt Disney glossing over this reality. These people work to survive. There's no two ways about it. As we all do, but they're not too overly concerned about faking it. Well, most do anyway, nowadays. Yes, even in our pampered region of the planet. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start squeezing through some of these. At least stationary motorbikes. Alright. So capturing this, I came across this in Thailand too. Apparently it has a very unpleasant odor, but it's supposedly incredibly delicious. But nobody wants you to carry that fresh fruit on their whatever it is, whether it's a bus or whatever it is. You'll see signs, you know, they don't want it on the bus. Okay, we gotta keep on going here. And I'll go ahead and take a picture of this because I know people are going to think that's just a touristy crap. It is not. This is real. And actually, I lamented for quite some time that I missed. I wasn't able to get my camera out in time to catch someone just walking down the street with a cone hat. So at least it didn't look touristy. It looked very casual, it looked very real, and it looked very convincing. Because I know, even if I said this is not a tourist thing, some people are still going to think it's a tourist thing. It isn't. This is today. And it's not just because it's the old quarter. Though I dare say that doesn't hurt. Okay. I'm getting kind of cocky with this thing because I'm not even thinking about turning it off. Okay, there's a grab. All right, I cannot express how essential that is in these incredibly congested roadways. The first time I got on one of those things in Thailand, no, not a grab bike, but a motor, they call them motor taxis, motorbike taxis. And that was a moment, because the day before I saw one wipe out. But granted, it was the only one I saw wipe out. So as many close calls as they come to, for the most part, they managed to get through. All right, we're just walking. We're just throwing ourselves into this. Okay, modern and not so modern, all converging here. If nothing else, that's what you see. They're not timid about surviving. They're not timid about exploiting either, but neither are we, right? Okay, that's what we're going with politics. We'll leave it alone. Okay, we'll leave that alone. I'm looking for a job, and this is definitely not the time you get political like that. So, okay, here's my coffee house. Okay, and I'll leave the audio, but I guess I'll be facing the pavement. Because I'm not going to be in your face with this thing. But it's $35,000 for an egg coffee. Let me go ahead and take that out. Because I'm going to sit down and take that out. Okay, I usually don't sit down, but whatever. Okay, am I on the? Yes, I am. Alright. And that's the surrounding street. Okay, let me put this, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Can I switch this around? I don't even know. While you would think you'd be able to do that, wouldn't you? Someone that knows how to use this thing probably could. Alright, but I don't know how to. Alright, hold on. On this side. Okay, I guess I'm gonna work. Alright, I'm gonna put you down here. No, I lied. I'm not gonna do that. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Alright. I'm balancing this thing all over the place. I'm not having a clue what's coming out on the other end. Okay, that's 10, that's 5. Yes, when I say 10 and 5, that's 10,000, that's 5,000, but we don't even bother using 1,000. So, is that another 10? I don't know, come on. I try to keep them separate since my bus issues cropped up, but I get into that. There are too many things to talk about. Okay. There's a 20, there's a 10. And, I don't know. Oh, there's a 5. Okay, we got exact change here. That's a blessing. I'll explain, get into that some other time. I'm not going to try to unravel what I went through the first couple of days here with this thing. Holy moly. Alright. Okay, but I got exact 35,000. And I'll go ahead and try to get this done. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to use this video. What a mess, huh? Alright, well, we'll see. I don't want to be... I'm trying not to be too... egg coffee?
Yeah.
Egg coffee. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice people. Yeah, they would accept me as a regular because I'm all over the place here. Okay, and I'm just going to walk up. Thank you. Okay, that's the narrow steps, narrow steps. Wait for it, wait for it. Oh, here's something real cute. Oh, it's a, wow. Do I show you this now? I'll show you later if I remember. Okay. How this place struck me the first time. We'll just go with that, shall we? Is that something? Didn't expect that, did you? Balcony. Alright. I know I'm whipping around pretty fast, but again, remember, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know if it's coming out as nice on the camera as it is in real life. It's a nice place. You're gonna have to take my word for it. We'll give another glimpse of the inside. There's another foreigner. And you get a better, longer shot from the staircase. Perhaps they did that on purpose, I don't know. I would imagine so. The aesthetics are wonderful. At least in real life. Okay, but I go for the balcony because I'm a foreigner and we do that. Okay, I've got to stop doing that. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Alright, we're living in interesting times. I'll leave it at that, shall I? In any case, this is my favorite coffee house. It takes, I don't know, 5 minutes if they're not busy. 5-10 minutes if they're not busy. I don't know. Don't quote me on that because I'm so preoccupied. It could well be, you know, average out to 10. But it's well worth it. Egg coffee. 35,000 is a more or less common price for that. You can find it for 30. You can also find it for 40, whatever. But so far, this place, the atmosphere and the coffee just passes them all up. Okay, as we're waiting for that wonderful egg coffee, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of this. What is a lady carrying in her purse, huh? How's one of the great mysteries of the universe, right? Whatever. Okay, let's see what I end up having to carry. This is an envelope I picked up in Thailand because their printouts, their computer paper is considerably longer than our standard computer paper. So I put my printouts in one of my old folders, sheet protectors. Needless to say, it did a cruddy job. So I ended up getting a pack of these long envelopes to correspond with their standard size paper. Okay. This I just added to my carrying all-day carry bag because I ran out of paper and I had to start scrounging around for any loose leaf clean sheets I can find and stick them in there. And here's my small notebook. I've been using, this is my brain basically. I've been scribbling down notes like crazy, balancing this on one hand and my map in the other. Oh, there's the map. There we go. Here we go. The map. Google Maps is fine if you have Wi-Fi. If you've got a smartphone and you pay for all that kind of stuff. Like I said, I'm a tight-fisted, nasty old fart, and I don't pay for anything if I can get away with it. But I can't get away with this. I needed a map. And I couldn't be afraid of touching the screen because there's no way to carry this darn tablet around without touching the screen. So you lose the map you are trying to use. So I found a bookshop, got a hard copy, and old Ziploc, well, it was a new one I used, put it in there, and a Ziploc to protect it. Yeah, that's an old trick I learned. The first time I saw someone fold a map a different way than it came, blew me over. Amazing the kind of things we get all uptight about, isn't it? Okay, you fold the map any way you can to get the part you need, all right? Stick it in the Ziploc. This has lasted the U.S. Oh, here's my coffee. Thank you. Thank you. And that's a very nice person that, okay. All right. This is an egg coffee. And the descriptions you've seen on YouTube, this is how I found out about this. Yes, like I said, I rely heavily on YouTube. Are very apt. It's like a custard until you get to the bottom, and then the coffee part is more bitter than most are used to. But for a complete addict, it's the hard part of heaven, but it's still heaven. So it's an experience. So here. Use the spoon. It's like a custard. Very thick, very sweet. And although once I start crunching the numbers, I dare say I'll have to kick this habit at some point in time, because this is a daily ritual for me now. Yeah, you wouldn't think it was much, but you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, whatever. Whatever. Maybe not. Probably not. I don't know. I really have no idea, but whatever. But at least now that I have this new hobby, I don't have to cling to it as desperately as I did just 1 or 2 days ago. This is delicious. Okay, I'm going to put this down and continue on with this video so I can turn off the video and enjoy my coffee. Alright, what else do I have in here? Okay, hold on. Okay, this is my new notebook. I got this yesterday, and it took some doing, I can tell you that much. Not one word of Vietnamese. How do you buy anything, right? Especially when people are determined to say they don't understand a damn thing you're saying, which may be true. It's their country. Why the hell should they? Okay, fine. I ended up going to Circle K. They do have notebooks, but not with lines. I'm used to lines. I want the lines. So, I went to Circle K. The young person I spoke to, of course, school-age kid, so she's going to know where to get a notebook. She said the place across from them sells these things. I went to the place across from them. First, the guy told me no notebook. And I said, thank you, and I kept on looking, and I found the notebooks. And then they said, no sell 1, 10. Granted, most of them were in sealed packs, but the one I had picked out was not a sealed pack. So they had an open pack, and the rest of them were sealed. So in other words, you buy a whole pack or get the hell out. So I got the hell out. I went down two stores. Found another place. Oh yeah, that's another thing I found out on YouTube. Quite correct. All these streets, you wouldn't think they'd have the nerve to try to rip you off when all the streets have the same merchandise. But all the streets are like dedicated to the same kind of merchandise. So for 1, perhaps even 2 blocks, sometimes even 3, you'll find all the same kind of stores. They all sell they all sell clothing, or they all sell stationery items, or they're all whatever. It's all the same. But dag-nabbit, bless their heart if they don't keep on punching, and some of them really like to pull your chain. So I went down 2 stores, and yes, I found a place with notebooks with lines that sold 1, all right? So that cost me $8,000, which I don't know how many pennies that comes out to. If you consider that exorbitant. I just do a conversion, and if I'm willing to pay that amount in the US, and I again am the most tight-fisted, nasty old person you're probably going to come across, why would I not be willing to pay for that just because I cross it? I don't get the reasoning behind that. If you're willing to be at home and get paid, I don't care what they do here to get the cheaper prices or what they don't do. By the way, we do the same thing now, so don't even try that argument. That's a cruddy argument as far as I'm concerned. If you're willing to pay that much, okay, that's a different video. Never mind. Okay, we're getting political a little here. Okay, but anyway, $8K. There's my cheap local phone I got. Works fine. It's beautiful. It came to about $20 with everything, with the phone, the SIM card, all the whatever. Anyway, so I've got a local phone. This is the cheapest tissue I could find. This was actually from Thailand, and I don't like getting the smaller packs. I find the cheapest and I stick them in a Ziploc. At least that's what I did in the States, and I do what basically the same I can if I can get away with it here. That's a airsick bag. I'll explain that some other day. That's a whole new video. Alright, this is where I keep my tablet stuff, my headphones and my charger. This is a water bottle. I don't know if half the stuff they say about water is true, but there's my water bottle. You couldn't get me to pay for that in the US, but I'll go ahead and pay for it here. Of course, I'll find the cheapest price, the cheapest place to get it, which is Circle K. 6K. Yeah. I don't know what to say about this. Let me just say I'm glad I also have access to Google Translate, because I prefer Lonely Planet. You believe this thing doesn't even have an index? How do you have a phrase book without an index? I don't know. But I'm glad I have access to Google Translate, let me tell you. All right, that's what I was able to get while I was in Thailand. So, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Well, maybe this shows you how anal I am. Soap. That's my own bar of soap in a small Ziploc, and the soap case is wrapped in a paper towel so it doesn't get too disgusting. Okay, what else do I have? This used to be paper towels. It got wet. There were so many opportunities for it to get wet, I don't even want to think about how or where. Okay. And that's it. That bag's empty. Okay, so that's the age-old mystery of what women carry in their bags explained, pointed out, described. All right, now I'm gonna stick all this stuff back in my bag, enjoy my egg coffee, and watching the traffic, and having a few heart attacks doing so until I am no longer a newbie and it doesn't shock me as much. And I will talk to you later. It's time for my coffee.